or not performing in front of a live audience. And I am twitching, I think is the word the doctor calls it. I've had too much time in the simulator. I need to get in the jet.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Stephen Colbert tonight. He takes off the mask and reveals the real Stephen Colbert, or Stephen Colbert.
I think it's Colbert.
Gail Pennington, TV critic from the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. Did you
Hi, good
see
morning,
the
Gail.
interview on CBS Sunday morning?
I did not see that.
Listen to our replay of it because it really captures a lot of him. But one of the things he said in it is that there are a lot of lawyers in his family, and they always joke that they should form a law firm, and it would be Colbert, Colbert, and Colbert.
So
he's the only one who pronounces it that way.
So it's going to remain Colbert?
Colbert, yes.
Okay. But he's no longer going to be the character he was on his show.
No, he's going to be the real Stephen Colbert, and I think people are going to have a real treat in store for getting to meet the real Stephen Colbert. I had that privilege last month, and he is amazing.
Were you starstruck? I mean, you've met me.
No,
I'm sure you were just as excited meeting me.
I was so impressed at how smart he is, and how quick he is, and how funny he is, and how really thoughtful he was in answering all the questions.
Well, you can't be that character if you're not smart, quick, and funny to begin with.
He said that he always had a script playing in his head of what the character would say or do, and anytime he had to respond live to that, he had to play it through this script in his head, and he's so relieved to not have to do that anymore.
That's brilliant.
Really interesting. Okay, but his first guest tonight is Jeb Bush.
His first guest is George Clooney.
Oh, okay.
His second guest is Jeb Bush.
Wait a minute. Clooney gets top billing over Bush?
Yes. He's Clooney. Come on.
All right. So Clooney is sucking up to Stephen Colbert.
Well, maybe they're longtime friends.
Longtime callers, first-time listener.
I'd be friends with Stephen Colbert or George Clooney.
Clearly,
and you probably are, Gail.
As would you, McGraw.
Oh, it's Clooney schmooney. So why did they wait all this time between Letterman's goodbye and his hello? People have already changed their viewing habits, and they've put him behind the eight ball.
I don't know why CBS did it. I personally think it was a terrible decision.
Okay, good. So you're with me on this.
Letterman was leaving when he was leaving.
Yes.
And they probably would have been in reruns most of the summer anyway. And they didn't want to start Colbert in the summer. They wanted to start him in the when the new season starts.
I'm sure Letterman would have left when they asked him, or if they would have kept him on for a couple more weeks or months or whatever. It just seems to me like it's been a good 4 months, right?
Bear this in mind, that if CBS had Letterman on, and he'd been mostly in reruns over the summer, so would the other shows. They were only live all summer because they were trying to get a foothold against Colbert.
Yeah.
So wouldn't that have, Gail, good morning, it's Farah. So wouldn't that have really actually helped Stephen Colbert if they had...
I would have had him start immediately,
right,
or within a few weeks. He had already been off so long from his other show.
Right.
And what's it going to take now? Because, as McGraw said, he's a little bit of an unknown in the late-night comedy circle, and really, maybe generally, unless, you were a fan of him before. What's it going to take to get him all those people back?
I think his show is going to be so good that people will flock to it. But that may just be my prejudice because I think he's so great.
Well, it worked for Jimmy,
Well, Jimmy Fallon, no disrespect to Jimmy Fallon, but Jimmy Fallon plays parlor games with his people.
Yes, exactly.
How long is that going to play?
Jimmy Fallon plays parlor games. Kimmel also plays a lot of games. I think there's a gap in late night for an interviewer.
And it's just having an interesting conversation with somebody.
Yes, exactly.
Which is where Carson was at it. I mean, Carson was great in lots of ways, but you also got some interesting comments. And
when Letterman was good and cared, and was really into it, he was a good interviewer.
He was a great interviewer.
And he was not always into it in the last years, but when he cared, you could really see what a good interviewer he was.
Well, when you're talking to, pick an actress who's talking about their new movie, there's only so much you can ask them about, tell me about this movie.
But
Right,
it's
exactly.
really
And Colbert's going to have very interesting guests in his first 2 weeks. He has a Supreme Court justice,
Who's that?
Breyer.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's got Breyer, he's got Bush, he's got Clooney. Who else? Anybody else in there of interest?
Well, maybe I'll open the newspaper that I have in front of you.
Maybe you'll go to stltoday.com and go to Gail Pennington's page, and you can read all
I
about
was
it.
hoping that you would buy it yesterday, or may possibly have it delivered to your house.
I buy it online. Why aren't you in the extra section? I should be paying for this great information you provide every day at stltoday.com.
Some of me's in the extra section. Okay, he's going to have Elon Musk, the founder of SpaceX.
Yes.
He's going to have Joe Biden. He's going to have the CEO of Uber. He's going to have Stephen King. And I'm just reading you the people who are not celebrities.
Right.
Because he's also going to have Emily Blunt and Amy Schumer, Scarlett Johansson, Jake Gyllenhaal, September 16th, Carol Burnett with Abby Hoffman and Alana Glazer.
wow.
Is that not
What
the
an
best? And the
interesting
musical
lineup.
guest is Willie Nelson.
Oh my gosh.
Is he going to have a band?
He has a band. His band leader is someone I'm not familiar with, but he's a New Orleans jazz musician.
Okay. What about, is he doing it from the Ed Sullivan Theater?
Yes, and they've remodeled it. They've stripped it back to its roots, and it's beautifully remodeled.
Oh, wow.
They say it looks like a Broadway theater now because they don't need all the heavy equipment that they used to need because technology is so much better that they can actually make it look like a beautiful Broadway theater.
All right, Stephen Colbert. Tonight, the world changes again. Stephen Colbert.
And I'm going to be blogging about this live. So
live tonight.
with your subscription, you can.
And where do we find the blog?
Well, it will be on STL Today /Tube Talk, where you can find all my things.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is Gail Pennington, TV critic, getting us an inside scoop on Stephen Colbert. Thank you, Gail. Have a good week.
Bye, guys.
You got it. 828, Big 550, KTRS.